What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Dark Ranger Romeo, aka Romeo Chan, and I'm here with another episode or video of myself trying out one of the new elite specializations in the upcoming Guild Wars 2 expansion, Path of Fire. This time we're going to look at the Necromancer specialization, whose name, because I keep forgetting, is Scourge. Scourge. So, firstly, let's say, as we can see, the F1 skill, this little bar there, has been replaced by this stuff. There's no phantom there, or whatever it was called. Sorry, I forgot the name. What was the name again? Spectral. Yeah, spectral form, life force, ETC. There's our life force, so actually the life force is there. And let's see how it goes. So F1 skill. Manifest Sand Shade. So you have these things called shades, and it's you create them with the F1 skill. They damage enemies whenever you use a shade ability, and cause cripple and torment as well. Shade ability, which I'm guessing is this, right? Yeah, there you go. So the shade abilities are: number 1, Nefarious Favor. You and your shades convert conditions from nearby allies to boons. As I think in the release or the announcement video I saw for Guild Wars 2, Necromancer's new specialization will have aspects to help it support characters. So this is obviously one of the skills. Converts their conditions to boons. F3 skill is Sand Cascade. Sand rises up near you and your shades to shield nearby allies. Right. What does it actually give? Oh, so it's a literal barrier. A literal barrier that you have to take down, which has a health, it seems, of 2,225. At least on the build that's going right now on this preview character. One thing you notice is it says life force cost. So instead of being able to use life force to become, some kind of spectral being that life depletes life force but has better attacks, the life force is now used by these things called shades. All right, skill number 4, you've got the Garish Pillar. You induce fear in enemies around you and your sand shades. So it seems to see that there's 3 sand shades. So if one is there, and you cause fear, so does your sand shades. The opposite team or opposite group of enemies are just going to go crazy and all over the place. Looks fun, like that funny skill when you think about it. Right, the F4 skill is the F5 is the Desert Shroud. Enter the Desert Shroud. Shroud, that's the word I was looking for. Shroud, not spectral stuff. Shroud, gaining a powerful barrier and pulsing necrotic energy around you and your sand shades. Look at that. You like 7 pulses of damage. Versus the barrier as well. That's a much higher health barrier. And then you've got torment. So that's interesting. So instead of being like, in terms of being support, it seems to have a lot of. It's playing with this new thing called a barrier, but there's a literal barrier that supports your characters, defends them. Okay, so I'm guessing. Alright, there you go. So there's this bar there. You can have a maximum of 3 shades there. So let's try it out. That's a very scary looking picture, by the way. Jeez, look at that. So that's what your shades look like, I guess. See that? And I was right. Look at that. Oh my lord. Was he smiling? Right. Do that. That's full 3 shades there. I cannot use the skills because it uses the life force and I have no life force. But I do have an idea. Oh wait. Actually, didn't work. Anyway, so let's move on to the new weapon skills. You've got the torch, which can be equipped in the offhand now of the Necromancer. That's a new skill. Harrowing wave. Unleash a wave of corrupted fire, burning, and tormenting enemies. Alright. Fire, burning, and torment. There a way to use the skill. Number 4. Wow, did you see that little skeleton thing there? Lol. Okay. Number 5, oppressive collapse. Corrupt the ground under your target. If they remain within the area, they will be knocked down. Grant might to allies near your target based on how many conditions they have. Wow. And it's a 2-second knockdown as well. You can apply torment to them, and of course your allies get might, it seems. But it needs a target, so we'll have to try it out later. Okay, so let's go on to the utility skills. Healing first, of course. We've got these new skills called punishments. Okay, and the heal skill is called the Sand Flare. Grant nearby allies a barrier. Convert a boon on nearby enemies into torment and cripple. Okay, so that could affect players who get out of tricky situations. They try to use boons to recuperate, but what they don't know is that there's a Scourge around who's gonna make life difficult for them. Alright, so boon conversion, 4 seconds. Self heal, there's another barrier there. I wonder what this barrier looks like. What's this barrier? I don't see a barrier. Oh, I suppose there's this barrier around me. Is that around me? Or I just saw a barrier. Is that it? Then maybe the barrier is around me, not the players. Then again, this says affects allies. So, unsure. Actually, no, wait, yeah. Oh, yeah, this one affects allies, not this one. Anywho, back to the skills. Alright. And then first skill we'll see there is Trail of Anguish. Leave a trail of sand as you travel. Grant swiftness to allies passing through it. Inflict burning on enemies and corrupt a boon into cripple and torment. That's a lot. Alright. To the allies, inflict burning on enemies.
Eat my dust.
That was weird. Oh, look at that. It's like whoa, look at that, guys. Jeez. That's awesome. Did you see that? It moved as well. It's crazy. Alright. The next skill is called Desiccate. Draw in vital energy from your foes to gain life force. Good for shade attacks. And grant boons to nearby allies. Convert a boon on affected enemies into torment and cripple. I see a common theme among the skills where you apply torment and cripple. You convert boons. You convert the conditions to boons on allies. You got the barrier thing going on. So it's all like different ways of just doing the same thing there. Alright, so let's try. What's the last one? Desiccate, isn't it? Already seen that, right? That's the one I just looked at. No, what is that? Anyway, alright, so the next skill is Sand Swell. Plunge into the ground, creating a portal to Tyria for allied use. Grant allies using this passage a health barrier, converting a boon on nearby enemies into torment and cripple. Surprise, surprise. Alright, see what this looks like. I think I've seen this one in the video. I think hands come out. Oh, you can. Wait, what? That content has been temporarily disabled. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you do frustration? Alright. Right there. Serpent Siphon. Siphon, come on. See some health? No, doesn't look like it. Unleash ghostly serpents towards foes in the targeted area. Serpents striking their targets become magical sand. Wow. Which grants allies a barrier. Convert a boon from struck enemies into torment and cripple. That was interesting. Oh, there's the barrier. I just grabbed the barrier. The barrier is around me. Anyway. Alright, and last but not least is something called Ghastly Breach. Reach into the realm of torment for a brief time, granting might to allies. Okay, here you go. Here it goes, guys. Granting might to allies and slowing enemies. Convert a boon on enemies into torment and cripple with each pulse. I don't know what to make of this. I don't know. I don't know. It was funny, I guess, but then now it's like, look at that, nice. I have to say that this is like the effect there. Get away from me. Anyway, all right. So there's the skills there. Let's move on to the traits. Scourge. You see that little very I think that actually looks like my niece. Alright, so Mantle of Sand. Gain the power to craft sand shadows. That's the sand shadows we saw there, shades basically. And grant them using life force. Gain access to punishment and shade skills. Oh yeah, I gained some life force, didn't I? Because I used the skill. Whatever, I keep using it. That's interesting. Alright, let's recharge these life force this way. Anyway, let's do that. Alright, so tier 1 skills. Abrasive Grit. Granting an ally a barrier removes conditions afflicting them and grants might. This is it. This is increasing the survivability of your allies in dangerous pressure situations, condition pressure situations, and giving them a fighting chance as well. Great. That's the support skills. Fell Beacon. Torch skills gain reduced recharge. Gain expertise based on your condition damage. Great. I think expertise is one of those things that a lot of people don't invest in. It's really hard to, do that without affecting your condition damage. And obviously, you got the choice really, how long a condition lasts or how much damage it does. And come on, let's be honest. How long a condition lasts is not as good as how damage. If you what would you choose? Would you choose doing 100 damage in 1 second, or would you choose doing 10 damage across 10 seconds? I think we all know the answer to that. But still, it's pretty good. All right, so you got the third trait there, Nourishing Rot. Gain life force for every boon you remove or corrupt. There it is. That's the bit. You got all these skills, obviously, that remove boons as well from enemies. Okay, so you change the boon into torment and cripple, but it also gives, you can use this to give yourself life force. So you can basically spam these sand skills that the shades have, and you have to. I think that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting, definitely. I think also another thing, it's got a bit of a more almost like voodoo feel to it. It's like sand, etc. Like more desert areas. Sorry about that sniff there. Anyway, the second passive trait is Sand Sage. Gain concentration and expertise. Gain concentration and expertise for each of your active sand shades. So you obviously have the sand shades. You can have 3 at a time. Or obviously there's skills there that when you use them, your sand shades use them as well. You got sand shades own skills there, obviously, and with that particular trait, their expertise goes up, your active expertise goes up, and you do more damage. Great. All right, so the choosable traits, tier number 2 is Desert Empowerment. Manifest Sand Shade grants a barrier to allies near it. That's the barriers, they almost like the protection only, sort of proper protection this time, I guess. All right, and then you've got the second skill, which is Sadistic Searing. From the sound of things, obviously it burns your enemies, and that is the case here. Skills, punishment skills. That's the utility skills, the new ones. skills gain reduced recharge, so you can spam them. That's great, because that's how I'm spamming this to give myself life force there. And cause your next manifest sandshade. Manifest sandshade, is that F1? Yeah, okay, manifest sandshade to inflict burning on foes near it. So when you manifest sandshade, you basically cause a torment effect on them, and obviously if you press the used sadistic searing, you cause burning and torment, which is great. And then you got the third skill there, which is unending corruption. Manifest sandshade corrupts boons on foes near it. The boons get converted to conditions. Surprise, surprise there. Stacks pretty well with these skills, I guess. Okay, and then you got the third passive tier skill trait. Blood as Sand. Reduce incoming damage for each sandshade you have active. So you got the sandshades there. Obviously, their skills supporting allies. It reduces the damage caused as well, so that's great. Okay, and then you go on to the last bunch of tier skills there. You got Sand Savant. You can summon only one shade at a time. This greater shade has reduced recharge. Instead of having 3 shades, you can only have 1 shade there. Have a reduced recharge, so if he dies, you can spam him. You affect more targets and influence a larger area with shade skills. So I think this makes it a bit more manageable if you're not somebody who wants to deal with 3 shades at a time. But obviously, the good thing about having 3 shades is that you can cover a larger area in a PvE situation, at least. All right, then you've got skill number 2, which is demonic lore, which is torment. You inflict, deals increased damage and causes your foes to burn. So like you had there when you use the sand shade generation, you torment and burning. Obviously there's, you see, you apply torment on pretty much everything. It's more like the torch is a torment torch as opposed to a fire torch, it seems. And of course you apply fire. This trait can only inflict burning on a particular target once every 3 seconds. So if it affects 3 different targets, fine. But if you're trying to spam it on one player, probably not a great idea. Alright, and then the final skill there, or trait, is Feed from Corruption. Whenever you remove or corrupt a boon from an enemy, gain that boon. Okay, that's interesting. So there you have it. That's the traits, and let's go try out the skillage on Le Dummy. If you watch some of the previous videos, you'll notice that the length of time is going down. It's because it's been a while since I've had a chance to record a video like this. The last time I recorded was about two years ago, I guess, when the last expansion of Guild Wars 2 came out. So getting into the groove of things is a bit hard. Unleashing Life Force. Regenerate, please. Whoa, look at that. Amazing. Again. Alright, so this has given us the opportunity to be able to look at the skills of the Sand Shades, of course, because now they can use the Life Force. Let's try this. So let's try, okay, let's have 3 different Sand Shades. Okay, they're causing torment and burning. Use F2, F3, F4. Look at that, that's a lot of damage. Obviously helps me quite a bit. I'm using these skills, but I've just realized they don't do any much damage because I'm not removing any boons to apply torment as they do. So let's look for a boonful target. Who could it be? Who could it be? I don't know. I've tried going to these different characters to see that, but I've noticed they don't actually help that much because they don't apply that boons to themselves that much. See, this guy's only applied might to himself, so it's pretty hard to demonstrate how boon removal will, increase damage capabilities on this character. Revenant, I don't know. I can't remember how many boons they do. Guardian really lets me down. Guardian, this model there, because really he doesn't apply much boons to himself, but he does tons of damage, which is crazy. Whoa! All right. Let's see. Let's increase my survivability using my friends who are the shades. Punish one. That was crazy. That was crazy lag up in there. So there you have it, guys. What was the skill that I couldn't use before? I don't remember. It didn't have a target equipped, I think. That's not that. Leave me alone. Alright. There's a shroud up in here. Whoa! Attack him, my lovelies. Is this cheating? Nah, it's not. Alright, so that's the Guardian then. So that's it, guys. That's Scourge, the upcoming Elite Specialization for Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to Roshan Gaming. And I'll see you later. Please watch the other specializations because they're all quite interesting. And you know, let's well, looking forward to the expansion, and let's hope all you guys who haven't got this game yet will buy it, and of course join me in the fun. So see you guys later.